Barbados, get up.
Good morning Barbados, good morning to you. Good morning, 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 morning. Good morning to you. Good morning Barbados, good morning to you. Good morning Barbados, good morning.
Wake up, wake up, wake up.
Morning to you.
Good morning to you and you wherever you are. Welcome to today. Today is Monday, the 8th of December 2025. I'm Pearson Bone. If it's the 8th, that means we are 17 days away from the 25th. That means you have 16 more shopping days to get your Christmas shopping done. But a very good morning to all of you, and especially to those of you joining us on our streams on Facebook, YouTube, and our website, cbc.bb. Good morning. Merry Christmas to all of you wherever you are. Remember always, if you have an idea or if you know of someone whose story has to be told, tell us about it. And you can do so by sending us an email. The email address is morninbarbados@cbc.bb. Question for you. How was your weekend? Really, how was your weekend? Mine was chock full of activity. I hope yours was as well. And that you did not only spend your time doing shopping, going from business place to business place, but spending time with family and friends and in church, and getting into the spirit of Advent and Christmas and all that it means and brings as well. So I want you to spend your time wisely, spend your money wisely as well, but most of all, remember the reason for the season. Joy came down from heaven. And so now we are reconnected, God and sinner. And that's the fourth line in Heart the Herald Angels Sing. And it's so interesting that is in there indeed. That's a really good hymn that reminds you of the story of the journey of Christ to earth and why he came indeed. So take some time, not just singing it and enjoying the music to it, but read the words and see what those words tell you, the story of Christ coming to earth. Lot to get to today, including a big campaign being hosted by Do It Best Barbados. And so they're excited to tell us about it. We're excited to hear more about it as well, as I'm sure you are too. And so they'll join us hopefully a little later this morning to tell us about that. Today is CARICOM Cuba Day, and that for a lot of us in the Caribbean is a magical day. And so we want to share with you why that relationship is so important and what that signal CARICOM island means to CARICOM, that CARICOM member means to CARICOM generally. Also, what's the role of the Disruptives International as we continue our 16 days of activism against gender-based violence? We'll talk to them about that. When our business coach joins us this morning, we want to look at building your personal brand, a magnetic personal brand as well. And that word magnetic is in there for a reason. We want to hear why that was put in there too. Harrison College and Queen's College have come together yet again. They're having a virtual Christmas concert that is shaping up to be something really interesting. They're continuing their raising of funds. We'll give you more details about how you can be a part of that virtual Christmas concert featuring who and when and where and how. All of those details we'll give to you this morning too. And this morning we'll also meet a man who is living with a life-changing condition. Life-changing, but he persists. And he was just here for the Run Barbados Marathon. So we'll hear his story and a whole lot more. But let's get started this Monday morning. And I know I say it like that because it's not Tuesday, with our conversations on CARICOM. And we're joined for this by Barbados Ambassador to CARICOM, His Excellency David Commissiong. And as it's Cuba CARICOM Day, we are happy to have with us Her Excellency Janet Stable as well, who is Cuba's ambassador to Barbados. Both of you, good morning.
Good morning.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas to you.
Merry Christmas for you too.
Before we started all of this, I asked Ambassador Commissiong, I asked Ambassador Janet Stable about how Cuba marks Christmas. And what did you say, Ambassador?
They celebrate at their homes with their family. So it's a huge party in each family, so in each house in Cuba. It's a celebration, a huge celebration for everyone.
See, just like us. And that's why this CARICOM Cuba Day is so important as well. They're just like us.
Yes. Well, Pearson, you used the word magical. And I think it's a very appropriate word, because what is CARICOM Cuba Day all about? Well, it commemorates a decision made in October of 1972 by the then 4 independent countries of the Caribbean community: Barbados, Guyana, Trinidad and Tobago, and Jamaica. And the leaders of these four countries, Mr. Barrow, Eric Williams, Michael Manley, Forbes Burnham, came together at Chaguaramas in Trinidad in October 1972 and made two decisions. One decision was that they were going to transform the then CARIFTA into CARICOM. And the second decision was that they were going to begin a collective foreign policy or a coordinated foreign policy. And the first act of that new foreign policy would be to recognize the then isolated Revolutionary Republic of Cuba. Back then, at the height of the Cold War, the United States had been successful in virtually totally isolating Cuba in this Western Hemisphere. Virtually every country had broken diplomatic relations with Cuba, and the Organization of American States, which was very American dominated and which our countries were new members of, they had a policy and they said no recognition of Cuba. And our four leaders said, look, as newly independent states, we have to send a signal about our independence and sovereignty. We will not permit anyone to determine for us what our policy will be. Mr. Barrow said, friends of all, satellites of none. And so they made a decision in October, but it was then put into effect on the 8th of December 1972. And so in succeeding years, both CARICOM and Cuba decided that 8th of December 1972 event was so important that it should be recognized as CARICOM Cuba Day. And so it is today.
53 years later, we're still remembering this phenomenal relationship between ourselves and Cuba. And so, Ambassador Stabler, what does it mean to you that CARICOM continues to mark this day in the way that we do?
It's a significant date for CARICOM and Cuba, and this is the expression and the example of the longest standing regional relation between among these countries, and this is an expression of the feel of brotherhood and solidarity among us. So this is a relation, a very beneficial relation for both sides. During the last years, they have been having some summits, and they have been developed collaboration and cooperation between the Cuba and CARICOM in different areas, such as health, for example. But before that, I want to mention the important decision of CARICOM to have this relation with Cuba and the support of CARICOM during the last years of, for example, with the opposition of the U.S. blockade or U.S. embargo against Cuba, and the opposition of the inclusion of Cuba in the so-called terrorist list of the United States. So this is the main issues regarding the political relation among CARICOM and Cuba. And besides that, we can mention some areas of cooperation such as health, for example, where many doctors and nurses and medical specialists in Cuba have gone to CARICOM countries to collaborate in the health issues. In education, for example, many agreements have been taken in education between CARICOM and Cuba, and collaboration in tourism, in biotechnology, in pharmaceutical industry, in sports. Is important in sport culture, because this is an expression of the long-standing and strength cultural relation that we have between among our countries. And in other, for example, in commerce and trade, CARICOM and Cuba signed an agreement in 2002 about the trade and economic cooperation agreement. So many things have happened during these last 53 years that in mutual interest and in mutual benefits for both sides.
We've always had this perception by the Western media of this poor, impoverished place called Cuba, where nothing good could grow. And yet you've just outlined for a lot of us a lot of the wonderful developmental things in manufacturing, in education, and in health, and alone, just a few. Where did Cuba get all of the wherewithal to be able to do all of this?
Well, Cuba has developed for long standing preparation and training, capacitation of people, of professionals, and with the idea to develop for ourselves, but at the same time with the concept and the spirit to collaborate and under the spirit of solidarity with other countries. So Cuba has been offered the cooperation and collaboration in all these areas based on this possibility to help, to bring our help and to bring our support to other countries and to have the same conditions of the capacity for training in different areas. So we have been working hard to prepare for ourselves, but at the same time to help to prepare others.
You know, Pearson, I like to look at these things from a historical perspective, right? So, you know, this whole hemisphere from Canada down to Argentina, we were all European colonies. And in the Caribbean, the number one, the most prosperous European colony in the 17th century was Barbados. And then in the 1700s, that title passed over to Jamaica. And then that title passed from Jamaica to Haiti. And then in the 19th century, it passed to Cuba. The point I'm making is these territories in the Caribbean were very, very valuable to the European colonial masters. Now, if we take a long historical view of our developments, the colonies in North America came together, solidified, and established the United States of America. Very powerful country today. The colonies to the north of them solidified and came together and established the Confederation of Canada. Very powerful country today. We likewise in the Caribbean, what we are trying to do, we are trying to do something similar. We are trying to integrate, come together, and establish a powerful Caribbean civilization. We may not become a single nation like the USA or Canada, but it is our intention through building relationships, through Caribbean integration, to lift our region of the Caribbean to that level of strength. The same way Canada did it, the US did it, we can do it as well. And so Cuba is a very, very important component of that Caribbean civilization. It is the biggest Caribbean island. It constitutes about 30% of the entire territory of our Caribbean. And because, I mean, it has a population of over 10 million people, so Cuba has strengths that other smaller Caribbean countries don't have. And we, to our credit, we have had the good sense. Every CARICOM country has established an embassy in Cuba, and likewise Cuba has established an embassy in every CARICOM country. So we must have that big picture, that long view of history. This is the path that we are on, and we cannot allow the United States, yes, you went ahead, you consolidated, you formed your powerful nation state. Why are you trying to isolate Cuba and to deny the rest of us the benefits that come from cooperation and integration with Cuba?
And that's the question I wanted to get to. Because you mentioned history, because the child born in the year 2000 is 25 today and does not know that history, does not quite understand that history. Why is there such a fierce approach taken by North America to isolate Cuba in the way that they are doing? Why? What did they do that was so damning?
Because the United States determined, they after Haiti, they were the second one to get their independence, so they consolidated very early. And by 1823, when they came up with this Monroe Doctrine, basically what they said, look, we are now a united, powerful nation, and we have determined that we must control the rest of this hemisphere. The rest of this hemisphere is now our backyard, and their resources are our resources, and we will have our way. And one of the prizes, I said that Cuba was like the prize European colony in the 19th century. So they set their eyes on Cuba. In fact, they said, we want Cuba. We actually want to integrate Cuba into our United States of America. And the Cubans said, no, we will be an independent country. And the Cubans really said that in a very powerful way when Fidel Castro and others won that revolution in 1959. And so that really explains the U.S. animosity towards Cuba. How dare you defy us and defy our Monroe Doctrine? And so Cuba, and they also feel that by Cuba setting that example of independence and sovereignty, that it is, in their opinion, a bad example that others may follow. Just like Barbados, Trinidad and Tobago, Guyana, and Jamaica followed that example in 1972 when they defied. They said, United States, no, you will not determine for us. OAS, no, we will adopt an independent policy and we will recognize Cuba. So that is Cuba's big sin in their eyes.
And so, while we're smaller than, we also defied. But yeah, so it always feels as though Cuba has been receiving a different level of punishment from the other big states of the CARICOM who have defied the United States. And I'm still wondering why.
Well, Cuba is the big example. Huh? Cuba, yes, we have done our thing like in 1972, but Cuba is really, in their eyes, Cuba is really the big threat because that Cuban revolution was so challenging to their whole idea of their dominance of this region. And mind you, as I said, from the very beginning, almost from the very beginning of the United States as a nation, they have had their eyes on Cuba. So by Cuba to defy them in this way, as they said, Cuba represents a repudiation of like 200 years of their policy. How dare you, little Cuba, repudiate our policy and our view of ourselves and the control we must have,
And so you want to say something, Anna?
Yes, I think the strongest way and the expression of what we can do together is the decision from CARICOM countries, from some CARICOM countries to have this relation with Cuba to confront this intention to isolate Cuba in the region. And CARICOM demonstrate that we are the willingness to work together, and this is expression of integration as well. Despite of any language barrier, this is expression of what we are as Caribbean people, and the feel of that we are brother, that we feel for the same causes in the world, for the justice causes in the world. That's why it's an expression of this huge cooperation, the South-South cooperation, but more than that is the expression of the brotherhood that we are like Caribbean people.
This is such a rich history lesson for all of us today, and I hope in the midst of your Christmas shopping, you don't miss the point. We'll continue this right after this break.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
Welcome to Nature's Discount, the ultimate health food store. At Nature's Discount, we have thousands of quality products at great prices. Hi guys, Dottie here with Nature's Discount, and today we are talking about solar ray, microbiome, probiotics, and why you should be taking them. And we have well over 3,000 amazing products to help you get healthy.
For your health tips, tune in to CBC TV 8 every Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday for Nature's Discount, sponsored by Get Healthy Incorporated.
98.1 The One, your number one party station. With an audience from 18 to 40, we keep you engaged, energized, and entertained. Choose 98.1 FM, The One.
Morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
Good evening, Caribbean. We're celebrating a bond that breaks the chains. December 8th, CARICOM and Cuba Day. But remember 1972, when 4 small nations stood tall against the world. Listen to the history. In October 1972, 4 Caribbean giants knew what they had to do. At Chaguaramas, they signed a decree to set the foreign policy free. Errol Barrow from the Bajan shore, Manley from Jamaica, opening the door. Eric Williams and Burnham complete the 4. They say we ain't isolating Cuba anymore. The smallest and youngest states in the West put the courage of the region to the test. We are friends of all and satellites of none.
There you go. Friends of all, the satellites of none. In our conversations of CARICOM, we're meeting with Barbados Ambassador to CARICOM, His Excellency David Commichon, and Cuba's Ambassador to Barbados, Her Excellency Yannick Stable. And so today is CARICOM Cuba Day. And there's a lot that has happened over all these years. The isolation started well before, but in 1972, CARICOM decided, no, this will not happen in the United States. You are not going to do this to one of our own. And as a consequence, many things flowed there from Ambassador Commichon.
Well, I would like to use this opportunity to bring to the attention of the Barbadian people the next big thing that happened after 1972 in that relationship. And the story is told by Sir Frederick Smith in his biography, Dreaming a Nation. And this year, right now, is actually the 50th anniversary of that next big thing. So permit me just to quote a little bit from Sir Frederick's book, right? And this is what he says. And of course, he was a minister in the Barbados government at the time. The next major phase from Barbados's perspective was the request to allow Cuban aircraft to refuel. Now, back then, much of Southern Africa was still under colonial rule. Much of Southern Africa, for young people may not understand that South Africa back in those days was a white-ruled, racist, and with an apartheid system that was very hostile to the interests of black people. So Cuba had started sending troops to Angola. Angola was just getting its independence. It had been a Portuguese colony. And back then, to fly all the way from Cuba all across the Atlantic to Angola was impossible. You had to refuel. And this is what Sir Frederick was saying, that the Cubans asked Barbados to allow our territory to be a landing point, where we would refuel the Cuban planes so that they can make that journey to Angola. It was a decision taken by Errol individually as Prime Minister. The cabinet and government were not informed in advance. He informed us in cabinet after the event, when a news item broke in a U.S. paper the Miami Herald about the troop refueling. When the news item broke, he came to us and told us that he had been approached. He never said by whom or when, although in the briefing he noted that Fidel Castro was his friend. So he had been approached to allow the Cuban aircraft to refuel en route to Angola. And exactly what happened? Well, he also tells a little bit of the story. He says, how did the Cuban troop planes get to Angola? The favorite refueling point for the planes leaving Jose Marti Airport between October and mid-December 1975 was Barbados. And he's quoting from a book about this, analyzing this event. And in that book, it is said, it is not clear whether the Barbadian government gave the green light, but the then Prime Minister, Mr. Errol Barrow, conceded in an interview that there may have been as many as 50 flights. Other observers say that at the height of the airlift, there were between 10 and 15 flights a week, and as many as 5 in a single night. It is impossible to believe that Mr. Barrow's government did not know from very early on about those mysterious flights. So the importance of this, Pearson, and I want especially young Barbadians to be aware, from mid-October to mid-December, Barbados secretly refueled those planes full of Cuban soldiers and weapons. And those Cuban soldiers got to Angola just in the nick of time because Angola was about to fall. The South Africans had invaded. There were counter-revolutionary forces supported by the CIA, by Mobutu in Zaire, and then the South African white racist troops were coming in from the south, and Angola was about to fall. Fortunately, because of the help of Barbados, those Cuban troops got to Angola just in the nick of time to rebuff the South African invasion. And so, by doing what we did, by helping Cuba to help Angola secure its independence, not only did we help Angola to become independent, but that independence of Angola then had implications for Namibia, Southwest Africa, which was under a racist South African rule, they getting their independence, and was ultimately played a critical role in Nelson Mandela getting his freedom and South African apartheid being dismantled. So this collaboration between Barbados and Cuba is actually one of the most shining episodes in the modern history of Barbados, and we should know about it, and we should feel very, very proud about it, about the role that we played, in collaboration with our Cuban brothers and sisters.
And so, Ambassador Stabler, listening to all of this and understanding that relationship, Barbados with Cuba, and CARICOM broadly with Cuba, on today, CARICOM Cuba Day, what do you want all CARICOM nationals who are watching, I know a number of them watching all across the globe, to understand about the significance of the relationship and the need to continue having that sensitivity and partnership with Cuba?
I think this feeling is among the Caribbean people. And the government has the key role to try to develop this relation between our people. Because it's a natural cultural relationships between among our people, but the government has to develop these key areas to expand this relationship. But in the last years, has been a willingness among our governments to do that. For example, between Cuba and Barbados, I think it's important to mention that this relation has been growing, and in the last years, and we already have collaboration in different areas. In sports, for example, for more than 15 years, we have been in presence in Barbados of Cuban coaches in different sports. But besides that, in education, health, in training, in different artistic manifestations. So it's the expression that of willingness that we have to continue with this relation, but at the same time to strengthen the relation in the way to support that our people have the skills, have the capacity to develop for ourselves and in favor of all our countries.
Well said. Ambassador Camacho, what would be your response?
Well, yeah, I would point to the very concrete things that are happening. In fact, right now, the Barbadian people are in the process of expressing solidarity with Cuba in the most concrete way possible, making financial and in-kind donations to that Hurricane Melissa relief effort. And this is what the relationship is all about, really helping each other in not just symbolism, but helping each other in very, very concrete ways, And I was so proud a couple of years ago when we in Barbados, we started offering scholarships to Cuban students to come to Barbados to study English as a foreign language, because for decades, we have been the beneficiary of Cuban scholarships. And I felt that it was necessary for us to reciprocate. We must always have this notion that it must be a two-way thing. You help us and you help us with your strengths, and we help you with our strengths. And I am the chairperson of the Barbados side of the Barbados-Cuba Cooperation Task Force. So, Barbados has taken its relationship with Cuba very seriously. Our two heads of government have met on several occasions, and they have a very strong relationship. And they mandated that we set up this special task force to really work on cooperation. So there are many, many areas. We were very happy to host a major Cuban artistic delegation for Carifesta. And we had discussions when they were here. And we have big plans that we will roll out in the new year for cooperation, particularly in the area of arts and culture. But truth be told, Pearson, we are looking at cooperation in every possible sphere, from the life sciences park that we are developing there in Newton to agriculture, you name it. We want to cooperate with our Cuban brothers and sisters because they have so much to bring to the table, and we in turn, we have areas of strength that we can share with them.
We hope this conversation this morning spurs you to get to know more about Cuba. We hope this conversation this morning spurs you to get to know more about the relationship between CARICOM and Cuba, this CARICOM Cuba Day, and begin to rethink and reshape your understanding of what Cuba means and what this relationship, Cuba and CARICOM, also represents. Thank you both. Barbados Ambassador to CARICOM, His Excellency David Commichong, and Cuba's Ambassador to Barbados, Her Excellency Janet Stable.
Thank you.
CARICOM Cuba Day.
Thank you for the
Happy
invitation.
CARICOM Cuba Day
Happy
to all
CARICOM
Barbadians
Cuba
and
Day. Yes.
Caribbean people.
Yes, of course.
And that's our conversations on CARICOM. Morning Barbados comes back in just a moment.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
Hey there, it's Mahalia. I want to share something that might be really helpful. If you're feeling anxious, overwhelmed, depressed, or lonely and have no one to talk to, call Lifeline Barbados. We all face struggles at times in our lives. You're not alone. There's no need to feel ashamed or embarrassed. It's okay to reach out for support. Lifeline Barbados is completely confidential. No one else will know you called. They're there to offer a caring ear and guidance without judgment. And fellas, I want you to know asking for help is a true sign of strength. It takes real courage to reach out. You can also call Lifeline Barbados if you're worried about loved ones who are struggling and you need advice on how to support them. There's a saying, a problem shared is a problem halved, but not everyone has someone they can confide in. That's why Lifeline Barbados exists, to be there for you or someone you care about during tough times. Save this number. Lifeline Barbados is just a call away. Remember, you can reach out whenever you need to talk.
Books open your heart, your mind, and your soul. They are educational, entertaining, inspiring, and motivating. Are you an author of a recent book you want to share? Then Mornin Barbados would love to feature your book in our The Next Chapter segment. Send us an email to morninbarbados@cbc.bb. That's morning without the G. Come and let us turn those pages together.
Week after week, Scold presents exciting reports and documentaries on the most varied topics of our time. Spectacular developments and innovations, lifestyle and trends of tomorrow, mobility and tourism, health news, highlights from art and culture. Each contribution grabs the viewer with extraordinary images and stories and takes him into fascinating worlds which he experiences here exclusively and up close. We're there when companies and specialists develop super satellites for a global network in space and can look behind the scenes. Scold is a window to everything that is there or is yet to come. Fly with us through time to better understand today and tomorrow. You've always wanted that. Scold, a look into the future.
Our world today is not the world God wants it to be. One of the reasons which will surprise many is that our planet, its governments, and its peoples are all living under the weight of Satan's rule. From the beginning of mankind's existence to today, human history is the written record of what it means to live under the rule of the devil. Yet that rule is coming to an end. And what a difference that will make.
Every Sunday at 9 a.m. on CBC TV 8, tune in for Tomorrow's World, sponsored by the Living Church of God.
Morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
22 minutes now to go to 7 o'clock as we continue our conversation looking at the 16 days of activism against gender-based violence. It's a topic that we should never turn our minds or our eyes away from. And so we're happy to be joined this morning by the Secretary of the Surreptimists International Barbados, Shaquila Bovell Paris, as we continue talking more about this scourge. Good morning to you, Shaquila.
Hi, good morning, Pearson.
Happy holidays to you.
Same to you. Thanks for having us.
She's a procrastinator. She hasn't yet begun to do a thing for Christmas. I forgive you for that.
Please.
That's all right. These 16 days of activism against gender-based violence means a lot to the Surreptimists, doesn't it?
It certainly does. We are a women's organization at our very core, and we do a lot of work. We are an affiliate of NOW, and we do work closely with the Gender Affairs Bureau. And every year doing these 16 days of activism, we always step forward, we always volunteer, we always try to do our best to make sure we're front and center and on the ground and rolling up our sleeves and getting busy, because it is a scourge in the country, it is a scourge in the region, and we want to see it eradicated, honestly.
How bad is it, really? What the information that flows to you, how bad is it?
Honestly, 1 in 2 Caribbean women experience gender-based violence.
50%?
Yeah. And of those, only 40% actually do report it. You know, so a lot of them do suffer in silence. And this year, for our theme, under, you know, the overall theme is Unite to End Digital Violence Against Women and Girls. But for our theme as an organization, we decided to launch something called the Orange Campaign, themed Illuminate the Silence. And that was centered around that whole concept of, you know, only 40% of women come forward to report it, and they do suffer in silence.
So how's your campaign going?
It has been great. You know, we this past Saturday, as I said, we're an affiliate with NOW. So this past Saturday, we joined them on their sensitization motorcade, where we drove around Barbados to, you know, just take part in public awareness, public sensitization for these issues. And we did launch a LED screen public awareness program in collaboration with Screenplay Advertising and Clarity Media. So thank you for them. We had the opportunity to display messages and public awareness sensitization across screens, indoor and outdoor, all over Barbados. So that was exciting.
It's a conversation that has to continue. It's a conversation that needs a safe space, because to be as open to say I am one who is being faced with abuse, whether it's emotional, physical, digital, or otherwise, requires a space where you are heard, respected, and understood, and in need of help. So I need you to help me. Are women still bold enough to come forward and say, you know what, I have a situation, Shakila?
Sometimes, but like I said, for the most part, they don't. Like, they're scared. And I think what happens as well is sometimes they might know something is wrong, something is not right, but they can't necessarily name it or even call it out, because I think a lot of behaviors and tendencies are actually normalized in our culture to a certain extent. So how do you know that you're being emotionally abused, you're being psychologically abused, even financially, digitally, if that's your baseline, that's how you grew up, that's what's normal, that's how people spoke to you your entire life? How do you identify that and point that out?
There are two sides of this problem. The one who inflicts the abuse, and then the other one who receives that abuse. And I know oftentimes we spend a lot of time looking at the person who receives, but there's also the perpetrator. Is part of your campaign looking at addressing that element of it?
Yeah, for sure. We do, in the messages that we share during the 16 days across the screens, we do try to push home that message of, love is not about dominance, it's not about control. Here's what you can do, here's what you can do instead. And of course, we always, during our public sensitizations, we always try to push home that message. We always try to reach out to men as well and let them know, hey, there are different ways of doing things, there are different ways of going about stuff, and you can work with us, you can be our allies. And I want to say that definitely, I think how men and boys can get more involved is through self-empowerment as well, because like you said, again, it's two sides. And I really think that through self-mastery and through teaching like emotional regulation and certain skills, certain life skills, that men will be able to be better allies. They'll be able to stand up against that inevitable pushback that's going to come when they decide to be an ally for a woman against society and stuff like that, and be able to move through it and be able to be grounded and stand firm in that.
A part of the cycle as well is, I suppose, those who are responsible for the law and enforcement thereof, and being sensitive enough to create that space where people can come forward and report when there's a case of violence at all. Are you also tackling that from that point of view?
So really bringing it back to the digital violence aspect of things, I think that we need greater training for what are essentially unprecedented incidents. We are in a technological revolution. AI is evolving at a much faster rate than I think any of us anticipated. So a lot of new incidents are going to pop up. So we do need collective training across law enforcement, across many sectors actually. And I think we would look forward to developing policies in Barbados as well. So that's one of the things we are looking to lobby for, looking to speak up for. I know Prime Minister Motley would have pushed for a regional AI policy. And I think that that's an amazing idea, being incredibly foresighted as she is, that is an amazing idea and very necessary. I know other countries like Denmark would have push for legislation that lets you copyright your likeness and your body, your voice as intellectual property against misuse from AI. And I think that that's something we should definitely look into as a country.
Tackling it from the junior level now, because we hold our phones in our hands, our devices, and we think, but this is mine. I pay for my internet, my packages. I therefore have the right. So tackling from the rights and responsibilities perspective with younger girls, younger males as well, because girls are also quite guilty of spending time in that digital space doing naughty things. So in terms of that, from that perspective, and how to be responsible with digital devices, what's the approach from Sir Optimus International, Barbados International?
Well, right now we are advocating for good digital citizenship, basically. So we are, in our messages, we did push a few responses for cybersecurity, how to manage your passwords, how to behave in the online space, again, like you said, really taking that responsibility. But I think moving forward as a nation, we really do have to look into digital citizenship and teaching that to our young people, teaching them that like this is not a magical world, we're separate from the real world where you can do whatever, say whatever, and it not trickle or fall down into your real life, into your everyday life, because it does. And once it's out there, and with everything, like I said, technological revolution, you have to keep a control of it. It's going to be your persona, it's going to affect jobs, it's going to affect livelihoods, and you have to think about tomorrow, which is not technically something younger minds are able to grasp easily. But I think if you help train them, help mold them in that way, and help them understand that, hey, like your digital space is also going to be the same way you prepare for exams, the same way you prepare to go out into the world. Your digital space is now going to become a space where you have to curate as well.
While to my mind, sometimes we're tackling violence, and to me, that's the end result of some other symptom. It's a symptom of something else. How do we? For me, it's a personal responsibility. How we treat our loved ones, whether it's in the digital or physical space. How do we tackle this? What do you see if you could just change the world with whatever? What would that whatever be to get people to the point of accepting that it takes personal responsibility for their actions?
Again, I would push for self-mastery and emotional regulation. Teaching those emotional regulation skills in schools, get it into the curriculum, get it into our programs. The same way we're pushing for digital literacy, the same way we're pushing for financial management, financial literacy. Put emotional literacy in there, put spiritual literacy in there, because we are psychosocial creatures, and we are complex beings, and our spiritual, our psyche, our mental aspects, our emotions are just as important. And I think that so many struggles our youth have, so many struggles our women, our men have in day-to-day is because they can't manage their emotions, and then they lash out. They don't know how to express themselves. They don't know how to control certain impulses, certain urges, and then that just spills over into so many different areas.
What do you see to be the role of the home?
The home is the first teacher. It should be, and oftentimes it's not, but again, that is generational, because sometimes if I don't, like for example, if I don't have any emotional regulation skills, I don't know how to teach that to you. I don't know how to respond to you with care or compassion. I don't know how to model that to you. And it's not that I am trying to be a bad parent or be negligent. It's just I don't know. So if we could teach that to the older generations, help them get some skills in there, then they can pass that on to the younger generations and model that as well.
Being able to identify when it's just crossed the line. I might reach across and just give a little tap on the leg every once in a while, a tap on the leg every once in a while, and then over time that turns to a cuff, a fist. And sometimes we don't quite see how it develops. Being able to identify when it crosses the line. Is this what you're teaching the young women at Seroptimus International Barbados as well? How to identify when it's an inappropriate touch or an inappropriate action?
For sure. We do a lot of work in our Sister Forward Academy. We teach life skills and management, and even before it gets to that point where it might be uncomfortable or something inappropriate happens, we teach boundaries. Like I said, self-mastery. We want you to be able to speak up and say, hey, not quite comfortable with that, let's tone it down, or be able to just gracefully deflect or something. But even before it gets to that, we want to be able to teach our girls. Like we said, we're an organization that focuses on empowering women and advocating for them, and we want them to be able to in turn do that for themselves and others once they leave us.
It takes a lot, it takes a village as well as we continue this activism, 16 days against gender-based violence. And it's only 16 days, but it's a lifetime of change that we're looking for. And it starts every single day, us taking time to actively consider our actions, our responses, our reactions, and the impact it could possibly have on a loved one or anyone in general. But we can make the change by becoming more, by mastering self-mastery. And so I want to thank you so much, Shakila Bovell-Paris, Secretary of the Seroptimus International Barbados, for joining us and joining the activism as well. And well done.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Morning Barbados takes a break here. We're back in a moment.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
Some ask,
What makes Barbados so special? We at Mornin Barbados say it's you, our exceptional youth. You are talented, resilient, and inspirational. You are the epitome of the Barbadian spirit, testing the boundaries of your creativity. If you are an entrepreneur, artist, baker, designer, author, or have done anything you think should be highlighted, email us at morninbarbados@cbc.bb. Let us show the world our exceptional Bajan youth.
From the beautiful shores of the gem of the Caribbean, Barbados, home of the amazing Harrison's Cave, the tantalizing Oystins Bay Garden, our historic garrison, the indigenous road tennis, and the friendliest people in the world. We are 94.7 FM, the ultimate Bajan experience.
There is a saying, you can find a Bajan anywhere. Are you a Bajan living abroad? Or do you know of one who has migrated to another country? Well, we at Mornin Barbados would love to have you or them on our Bajan Affair segment. Share your amazing stories, experiences, and how you have adapted to a new culture. Send us an email to morninbarbados@cbc.vb, and together we will travel the world.
God will not give you a job. God will not call you to do something and then not give you the capacity to have it, to make it happen. He will give you the resources. He'll give you the people. Not only will He equip you with ideas, but He will equip you with favor, as He did Nehemiah.
Turn on the latest episode of
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
Down the road we go as we meet now with our business coach, Shelly-Ann Aki Solomon, as we want to take a look now at building that magnetic personal brand. And so good morning to you, Miss Aki Solomon.
Good morning. How are you this morning?
I'm well. Happy holidays to you. How do you do?
I'm good. I'm at peace right now, calm, enjoying life.
Tis the season indeed. And so let's talk a little bit about building this magnetic personal brand. And I see two phrases in there for me. One is the word magnetic and personal brand. Let's talk about personal brand first, define what that is, and then help me understand how do we build a magnetic personal brand.
Well, for me, a magnetic personal brand stems from your uniqueness, your authenticity. A personal brand is different from a business brand. So the business brand focuses on all things business, including your logos, on all the messages that go with the business. A personal brand is more about the person, your perspective, your philosophy, your core values, your morals, the way you see life, and also showing up as an individual. So that's a personal brand. I think that people should create a magnetic, compelling, attractive, relatable personal brand if they really want in this digital age to build a successful business, because people don't buy products and people don't buy logos, people buy from people. So the stronger your personal brand and the more you show up as your authentic self and speak your story as clearly and as confidently as possible, then people become interested in what you offer and they're more likely to purchase from you because they feel connected.
You use the word authentic and you're absolutely right. So where do we start to build an authentic, magnetic personal brand?
Well, you start with knowing who you are. In my community, we have fun with me consistently saying my community allows me to show up as my authentic self. I am a very feminine person. I'm very girly, wifey, motherly, sisterly kind of person. So, and I laugh a lot. I really laugh for everything, something, and nothing. And I think that when you decide, you have to make a decision to show up really real, show people who you are. I think it comes from there. I have seen so many personal brands that I've helped build across the region and across 30 countries, and one of the biggest thing that I will always tell my clients to focus on is show up in your real authentic state, because what that does is it allows you to feel free and comfortable, and you don't get into a place where you have to perform, because this is you. You show up as you. And it gives your audience an opportunity to really choose you. Because if you try to pretend or you try to perform to please the public, what will happen is the moment you crack, that facade cracks, or people start to see you as your authentic self or your real, true self, they are now going to be taken aback as to, has she been pretending all this time? But she's not real. So allow people to really choose you, and give yourself the grace to show up as yourself. I think that is the root from what I have seen over my years helping personal brands grow and build and really connect with their audience. Give yourself the grace to grow and to show up as your real self. Don't put on personas. And doing so will give the audience the opportunity to accept you, to really buy into you. That is very, very magnetic.
You use the term community currency. I like that term. I've never heard it before till now. Talk to me a little bit about that. How do we spend, or how do we save our community currency?
Community is currency. And the reason why I say that is because I have watched over my 25 years how a community can carry you. And that, again, comes back from your personal brand. Because people buy into me, they buy into my philosophy, they like my personality, they like the way I speak, the way I show up. They love the stories I tell. They love that I am not someone that gatekeeps. I share because I stand on the law of reciprocity and the law of abundance. So when we begin to operate from that place, we begin to allow the community to speak on our behalf. And it's going to be truthful because they are having a real experience with you. I have seen communities speak about me and many others in rooms that I never entered. That gave me opportunities that I would not have had access to. I have seen my community defend me, fight on my behalf, push my brands, push my events. You have to understand that you alone cannot do this. The more people you have on your side, community, the faster you will go. The bigger your business will become, the more voices and ambassadors you have out there speaking on your behalf. So a community also helps you to have conversations through people based on what you said to other people. So they will start to say the very things that you have created, that conversation in your community, they will start speaking it in your absence. So they are speaking on your behalf, saying the things that you say, talking about your culture, talking about your philosophies, and they will be sharing that with people that you would not have had access to. Now someone knows about you, knows about your business, and they trust you, and that moves you along faster and easier than if they met you for the first time. So when I say currency, I really do mean currency in multiple ways. You know, currency with regards to spirituality, your community prays for you. People may not believe that, but they do, right? They wish you well. They send good energy to you. Currency is creating wealth. They promote you, they share you. And the more they share you, the more people buy in faster. So that means you have revenue. If you have events, your events will be bigger because you have more ambassadors out there talking on your behalf, you know? So I believe that one of the pillars to my success would be community.
Let's talk a little bit about the vulnerability and exposure that comes with that vulnerability, because if I'm going to be authentic, I must be prepared, therefore, to open up self to scrutiny. And when we do that, we know what comes as a consequence sometimes. Let's talk a little bit about that protectionist side of it.
Well, for me, before you step on any stage, whether it is traditional media, publications, magazines, or the digital space, you have to make a conscious decision and prepare that you are going to deal, that you are able and you are going to deal with haters, critics, naysayers, just troublemakers. You have to sit with yourself and decide before it even happens, how will I handle these situations? Because you see, you cannot allow haters, critics, naysayers, troublemakers to stop you from pursuing your goals and building your legacy. What I tell my clients is plan before, prepare before. How will you handle these situations? How will you handle people criticizing your personality? you have to understand, if someone is criticizing your personality, what they're communicating to you is that you are not good enough. But do you accept that? You have to understand that success triggers envy in people. Have you prepared yourself to deal with that? I had a situation earlier in the year. I was heading on a plane, and you know when you're traveling business class, you're first on the airplane.
Yes.
So I saw an ad because I have a conference coming up. So I saw an ad and I was trying to get some information. So I did not read the caption, I just saw the video. So before I entered, I was second in line to get on the plane. Of course, the Wi-Fi disappears, right? So I am trying to just get the information because I said, okay, when I land, I'll just get the information. So I just asked, what's the price? Later on, maybe a day after, I saw someone send me a screenshot and they said, look how these people, I'm paraphrasing, it's not word for it, I can't remember, I didn't commit it to memory. But in other words, they were trying to discredit me as a business coach, saying that I can't read. Now, it's not that I can't read, I didn't read. But that does not discredit me. Now, as a business coach, having a community looking on, how do I deal with that? I knew exactly how I would deal with those things. I would leverage those things. I got so many customers, so many followers in my rebuttal. And I said, when we use our platforms, we have to use it responsibly, and you cannot discredit someone based on one incident. Now, what people fail to realize, and as you as a business owner showing up online, visibility is currency as well. So you have to learn. It is. Because I earn 6 figures from that negative comment.
Yes.
And that is what I teach my people, how to leverage the negativity. The person who was speaking negatively about me without knowing anything about me, they did not realize who they were targeting. So what I did is I dropped receipts. I dropped receipts of the monies that my clients make. I dropped receipts from my clients, testimonials from my clients. And what happened is the people who were reading the negative comments came across to my page. Of course, my page is flooded with testimonials and receipts of the type of work that I have done and who I am.
Yeah.
So now I got fans. I got people who were saying, oh my gosh, she is actually not a fraud, right? And out of that, I got exposure. People said, oh, I needed a business strategist. I needed a coach. And they signed on with me. So you have to learn how to leverage negativity. And also remember, you have to use it as feedback. You have to use that feedback as fuel to accelerate your growth. Don't just push it aside. Some you will leverage, some you will learn from. Maybe if they say, okay, this color didn't look good on her, it made her look washed out. What you do is you look at that and you say, oh, that's good feedback. Let me change up my color palette. So sometimes they help us to grow faster and they help us to make money. So don't be afraid of them. They will be there online just as they are offline. Just prepare yourself to deal with it and have that emotional regulation and behavioral regulation and management of mouth and fingers before you respond. So that's what I would tell people about the negative side of visibility.
That is such a good story and a good point at which to end. If you need to know more, folks, contact Shelly-Ann Aki Solomon, and she can guide you further. She's a business coach to help you develop that magnetic personal brand. To you, Shelly-Ann, thank you so much for joining us. Be it the will of the Lord, we'll join you again next week. Morning Barbados is back in a moment.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
From the beautiful shores of the gem of the Caribbean, Barbados, home of the amazing Harrison's Cave, the tantalizing Oystins Bay Garden, our historic garrison, the indigenous road tennis, and the friendliest people in the world. We are 94.7 FM, the ultimate Bajan experience.
There is a saying, you can find a Bajan anywhere. Are you a Bajan living abroad? Or do you know of one who has migrated to another country? Well, we at Mornin Barbados would love to have you or them on our Bajan Afar segment. Share your amazing stories, experiences, and how you have adapted to a new culture. Send us an email to morninbarbados@cbc.vb. And together we will
Morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
Let's look at the news now. Attorney-at-Law Senator Gregory Nichols will be the Barbados Labour Party's candidate in St. Thomas for the next general election. He replaces long-serving MP Cynthia Ford, who is retiring after more than 20 years. Members of the Barbados Labour Party St. Thomas branch voted for Nichols in what many call the most vigorously contested internal battle the constituency has seen in decades. Supporters erupted in applause as the results were announced, marking the end of a contest that pitted Attorney-at-Law Anderson Yearwood, political scientist Dr. William Chandler, and Senator Nichols against each other. Senator Nichols says he's humbled to be chosen.
There were times when I could have quit this journey. But the inner resolve came from He who knows best. And I want to give all praises to God for bringing me and my team through this journey. This party is very special in my heart. And the resounding numbers today tells the Labour Party St. Thomas has spoken. The mission is to ensure that the next battle ahead is also won.
Well, government is promising to more than triple the number of scholarships for students of the Samuel Jackman Prescott Institute. The disclosure came for the institute awarded a record number of scholarships this year. Deanza Roberts reports.
152 SGPI students walked away with a total of $190,000 in scholarships. The contributions for those awards came from corporate donors, government ministries, NGOs, and even members of the diaspora, all committed to strengthening technical and vocational training in Barbados. Principal Ian Drakes praised students who not only qualified for scholarships but maintained their GPA to earn awards for a second year.
Hard work will pay off. The idle street is a very boring place. It's a lot of hard work for nothing. But positive hard work will get you the reward that you are so deserving.
He also thanked long-standing and new scholarship sponsors, recognizing the growing list of local and international partners supporting the students' journeys. But the biggest announcement at the event came from Minister of Environment and National Beautification, Adrian Ford. He revealed that government will be offering more than triple the scholarship awards next year.
We started in 2014 with 3 persons being awarded a scholarship, where there's monetary consideration, we paying for the tuition fees for the following years, etc. But I want to declare today, in this good weather, that as from next year, we will be increasing the scholarship from not mere 3 persons, but to 10 persons.
The minister also used the opportunity to call on students to get involved in the climate change fight. He said the conversation is important and timely.
We need you to be champions. We need you to be architects of your destiny. Climate change is real. There was once a leader who said that climate change was just a misnomer. Today I want to declare in this beautiful weather, climate change is missing us no more. And you can see, one day there is extreme heat. Jamaica recorded prior to Hurricane Melissa 30.5 degrees Celsius for the whole month. Then we had a devastating hurricane.
As the record-breaking scholarship season closed, students left inspired, armed with financial support, new opportunities, and the confidence that their hard work has been recognized. Deanza Roberts, CBC News.
Service vehicles will continue serving the traveling public despite ongoing technical issues at the Barbados Licensing Authority that they have been delaying permit renewals. That's the latest word from Chairman of the Alliance Owners of Public Transport, Roy Raphael. 4 days ago, he warned that operators might be forced to pull their vehicles off the road because of the delays, but he is now telling CBC News that for now, the PSV operators will continue to work, though they have been urged to be careful.
We really would like to interrupt the public transport at this stage. What we will say is that we are going to invite our members to be very cautious how they approach this whole matter. Legally, for you to operate on the roads of Barbados, you must have your permit valid as well as your road tax. and those other documents in place. It is totally left up to the police to make a decision what they will do. Whereas the BRA will issue a statement saying, yes, those persons who are unable to pay will do so, and they will honor them. There is still a matter related to the law. So for us right now as public transport operators, it's a watch and wait situation. We do sympathize with the licensing authority in terms of how they manage the breakdown of the system, but there is always ways, a correct way in which we would like to encourage our members to go ahead and do the rightful thing.
Gas, diesel and liquefied petroleum gas products are now a bit cheaper, but the price of kerosene has increased slightly. Gasoline is now 9 cents cheaper at $3.85 a litre, diesel $3.32 per litre, which is 4 cents less than before. Liquefied petroleum gas or cooking gas is now being sold at $166.34 for the 100-pound cylinder, $46.68 for the 25-pound, $41.25 for the 22-pound, and $37.50 for the 20-pound. The price of kerosene has increased by 5 cents. That's now $1.56 a litre. The Barbados Water Authority says it's moving to bring potable water and sewage systems to communities in St. George and St. Michael. It's implementing a project in Bailey's Alley, St. George, and the Bell Tenantry in the Bell, St. Michael. Acting CEO Christopher Mapp says it's the first time residents in those areas will have the official access to potable water. He says the Water Authority has started installing the new water network across the neighborhoods, and once that work is complete, verified homeowners will need to install the necessary pipework to their properties to facilitate the connection to the mains, and then visit the Barbados Water Authority's Customer Service Centre to apply for water service. Residents are also being offered the opportunity to legitimately apply for service at a reduced rate, specifically negotiated by the government. The Water Authority says it will continue working with all residents to complete the water and sewage connections as quickly as possible. Let's turn to sports now. Dr. Kishore Shallow will not be stepping down as president of Cricket West Indies. He made that announcement in a media statement yesterday, confirming that he will continue in his role for now, but will not seek re-election in 2028. That comes on the heels of Dr. Shallow's landmark victory in the St. Vincent and the Grenadines elections. He is now entering the political arena, and critics had suggested that he should step down from his position with the Regional Cricket Board.
I know that some of you may be concerned about my recent appointment to Cabinet and what it may mean for my continued service as President of Cricket West Indies. Let me be upfront and transparent with you, as I've always been. Admittedly, I have thought long and hard about this. My conviction is that the work ahead requires steady leadership and a commitment to completing the reforms already set in motion. It is for this reason that I will conclude my current term, but with the intention not to seek re-election. It is true that my appointment as a minister, while simultaneously serving as President of Cricket West Indies, may seem slightly uncommon in our region, even though it has happened in other sports before. However, it is not unusual within the global cricket community, where several of my colleagues at the International Cricket Council currently serve or have served as ministers or members of parliament. We have therefore conducted comprehensive due diligence to ensure all legal and ethical standards are fully met. While there is no conflict of interest, the legitimate question is whether I can effectively manage both portfolios. Having consulted widely with our board and leadership, I can assure you that I can and will. With clarity about the work still before us, I will use the remainder of the term to complete the reforms we began and to support the development and implementation of our strategic plan until 2027.
That's news. More news coming up at noon. Morning Barbados is back in a moment.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
The Morning Barbados news is brought to you by Jordan Supermarkets Spend and Eat 2025 competition.
There is a saying, you can find a Bajan anywhere. Are you a Bajan living abroad? Or do you know of one who has migrated to another country? Well, we at Mornin Barbados would love to have you or them on our Bajan Afar segment. Share your amazing stories, experiences, and how you have adapted to a new culture. Send Send us an email to morninbarbados@cbc.vb, and together we will travel the world.
God will not give you a job. God will not call you to do something and then not give you the capacity to have it, to make it happen. He will give you the resources, he'll give you the people. Not only will he equip you with ideas, but he will equip you with favor, as he did Nehemiah.
Turn on the latest episode of Infinite Possibilities, only on CBC TV8, every Sunday at 1:30 p.m., sponsored by Covenant Life Teaching Center.
Welcome to Nature's Discount, the ultimate health food store. At Nature's Discount, we have thousands of quality products at great prices.
Hi guys, Dottie here with Nature's Discount, and today we are talking about Solar Ray Microbiome Probiotics and why you should be taking them.
And we have well over 3,000 amazing products to help you get healthy.
For your health tips, tune in to CBC TV.
Good morning. Good morning to you.
16 minutes after 7 o'clock now. On the 18th of December, what are you doing? Seriously, what are you doing? It's a week before Christmas, and I'm saying to you right now, stop whatever you're doing on the 18th of December. Have an alternate plan, because you're spending time with the Harrison College, Queen's College alumni, and they are having a spectacular Christmas plan for you. How spectacular and what is going on indeed? They're here to join me from Harrison College, Laura Nichols and Trace Keffers. Trace, and a student still. So good morning to both of you.
Good morning.
Laura, good to see you again. Merry Christmas if you're a Christmas girl, are you?
I am very Christmas girly.
How so?
Oh, I take the house down. I do the cooking. I'm so tired by the end of it all. I collapse on Christmas Day.
To be refined for Boxing Day.
Yes.
And so the 18th of December is coming up. Trey, what about you? Are you a Christmas boy?
Yes, please, very much so.
How so?
During Christmas, I usually tend to, honestly, I'm blasting Christmas music by like probably June.
Yeah.
To be quite honest, I'm always ready for Christmas. It's something that holds a special place for me. So I'm always happy when that time comes around.
And this is not about the food, it's just the music.
Well, the food plays a big role as well. I love the music, especially.
Of course. And music is what we're talking about here.
Yes,
because Laura, there's something happening, as I told people just now, about on the 18th of December. What's going on?
Yeah, so the 18th of December at 7:30 p.m., we have our annual virtual Christmas concert. And it's a fundraising concert. And basically, we are trying to ensure that we give back to both schools in different ways. In terms of Harrison College, if those of you who don't know what Harrison College's layout looks like, picture the chemistry lab, which is by the canteen. We're going to put another level up, and in that other level will be a robotics lab.
Ooh.
Yes, along with a food science lab, which we already have our culinary arts, so that's going to help project that even more for Harrison College. And QC as well, they need further development. We all remember going to those QC fairs to make sure that the pavilion was finished. Well, good news, it's complete. But we still need to equip it,
yes,
to make sure that it's up to standard. And also there's the perimeter, because we want to keep our students safe and sound as they learn. And then there's also their science labs as well. And they also want to retrofit the hall to ensure that their arts community has the support that they need.
There's a lot going on. And
yes.
Big projects indeed. So big projects require big funding.
Of course.
And that's what I love about all this, is that you're helping yourselves. And you're asking all of your alumni, wherever they are across this far-flung globe, to come together and to assist. And other people who, whether you've been a student or a teacher there because of other relatives of yours who benefited from the contribution of the schooling, as we old people will say, from Harrison College and or Queen's College, give back. And so this concert is a part of that fundraiser
yes.
to help with all of that.
Yes.
And so, Trey, are you looking forward to December the 18th?
Well, I would say so, to be quite honest. There's a lot of different various performers who will be there at that time, along with Alex Cage and Lillian Richards as well. So I'm excited for Lillian Lord, and Nathan Richards,
yes.
Right? I would say I'm looking forward to seeing them perform. And there's also two performers, I really won't say who, they'll be releasing some new music as well. So that's something to really look forward to whenever you get the chance to come out to the concert and support.
And coming out is coming onto YouTube.
Of course, coming onto our YouTube channel, and more information on that is on our website.
What's the website?
The website, it's a lot. It's a lot. I'm sure you guys are going to put it on the screen to help us with that. But the website, you can go on to that. And also our social media page on Instagram, or IG as the young people call it.
There
Yes.
you go. All right. So Alex Cage, Alex has for me, it's still one of his best songs, Jingle All the Bells. Do you know it? Alex has a phenomenal voice. And so Alex is going to probably play and sing. He's a brilliant, brilliant performer indeed. Lillian has come through so many song contests and still a beautiful renderer of songs. She has some new music on the radio as well. And so Lillian Lord, we all know her so well. Lillian will be performing. And should I call some of the other names?
Of course, you can call the other names.
Damien Bobo Bowen.
Yes.
Note the last name.
Bobo.
Damien Bobo Bowen is going to be there as well. And we know Damien well. We know Bobo well. So Damien is going to be a part of the cast as well to perform. Nathan Richards. Nathan is an outstanding tenor.
At
Barbados. Nathan not just performed in church or on stage in Barbados, but Nathan traveled. He travels still. He went overseas to further his craft.
He went to London.
Correct.
Yes.
And so Nathan has agreed to come and be a part of this concert on the 18th of December. What time does it begin, by the way?
7:30. And don't forget Elan Trotman as well, too.
I'm just coming to Elan. You tell me about Elan.
Oh, my goodness. Phenomenal musician. I mean, the lineup, I don't know. I'm so excited about that. And also the a cappella group, G Syndicate.
That's the one Alex, my boy here was trying to keep from your tray.
Yes.
But that's the big surprise. G Syndicate will be there. G Syndicate has found a way to blend voices in rhythm. And to create a beat that really inspires. Look at your screen. Donate and you can win as well. We'll talk about the winning in just a moment. But at 7:30 our time on December the 18th, be in front of that YouTube screen.
Yes.
6:30 for you somewhere else in the world, an hour behind. That's your problem. But be there for an uplifting virtual year-end fundraising concert put on by the Harrison College, Queen's College Alumni Association. And then the network is looking forward to having you there indeed. So you say, it says donate and you can win.
Yes.
So talk to me a little bit about that part of it.
Those prizes are amazing. I would like these prizes, but alas. First prize is a round trip for two to New York from Barbados. And second prize is a 43-inch screen TV. I know how you gentlemen love the televisions. The bigger the better. And so we have those prizes. Of course, there's also spa days. There's so many prizes to choose from. Black cake, fish cakes. I go back onto the foodie again of me. But yes, those prizes are there. And you can only get to those prizes if you donate. And any donation would do. $10, $20. You donate, and it gets us closer to our goal of 20,000.
Trey, are you talking to your friends or those your age to say, come, boys, girls, we have to be there?
Well, to be quite honest, I feel like I haven't been putting in that effort to let people know that this is something. I know that this is something that needs to be talked about, because this is for our betterment, it's for our education, and it's for the betterment of our learning process as well. So I do believe that it's something that needs to be said, needs to be disseminated throughout the school, so that it can, to let people know, let the students know, let my fellow students know that this is something that we need to talk about, something that we need to look to foster, so that we may have a better time at school, a better learning experience, and an overall a great time in terms of the teaching process and the learning process.
Yeah, and you're right, because Laura told us that atop the chemistry lab, there's going to be some further construction, some great work going on there. Are you in those science subjects?
Well, not primarily with chemistry, but I'm with physics. And I do physics at school. But I do think that with these improvements to the infrastructure, that it could foster our science as a whole at Harrison College in order to make us more academically able. So even though I don't specifically do these sciences, I do see that there is a great benefit to implementing these improvements.
So you have a responsibility among your friends to share to share the links, to share the information, to use what you all love to use, your digital platform, and to blast it. Let everyone know about it. So as soon as you get back to school, and though school ends very shortly, talk, share, and make sure many people log on, because more on making donations, the sooner we can reach the target. What's the target you've set?
20,000. And this is really fostering our togetherness. HC and QC have had that togetherness from since I can far back remember, and it's currently like that. I believe we did a prefab exchange quite recently, and also we're even from the older times when the boys from HC would go over to QC to do the arts, and vice versa. The girls from QC will go over to
HC
to do the sciences, you know, so you have that connection going on. And so let's continue that, let's foster that togetherness and do better for our future.
Students, indeed. And so, folks, this is not about Harrison College and Queen's College alone, though we would love to have all of you show up in great number and make those donations. Let's knock off that target in no time and make your donation. But it's for everyone who's a Christmas lover of Christmas, great Christmas performances and great Christmas music, and who loves to win. What a round trip to New York do you good at any time? I'm telling you, that's one up for grabs. That 43-inch TV and many, many more exciting prizes as well. So a cast of great Barbadian performers will be online. It's on YouTube. And if I want to, again, make that donation, we go to the website or to your socials.
Yes, and there's also the CIBC information as well, all of that as well. But HCQC alum is made up of 4 of our organizations: the Old Arizona Society, and we're in their tie today, the QCA, which is the Queen's College Association, and of course the alumni associations in the USA and Toronto.
Folks, let's step up and do this for our schools, for our children. It is vitally important. But in doing so, we're having a lot of fun. December 18th, it starts at 7:30 Barbados time, and it's only on YouTube. It's a virtual, uplifting, year-end fundraiser concert. And so we want you to be there. Look at your screen, note that down. If you have to look back at the show so you don't forget, look back at the show, save the date, and show up, because these stars, Damien Bobo, Alex Cage, Lillian Lord, Nathan Richards, and Elan Trotman, along with G Syndicate, will be performing for all of us to our holiday delights. But you need to go to the socials or the website and start making your donations. No donation is too small, and that donation allows you to enter for the concert and to enter for a prize as well. Thank you so much, Laura.
Thank you.
She's been such a nice girl. She's been a good girl. So Santa will be good to you this Christmas, I promise you.
Very, very good to me this Christmas.
Laura Nichols, who is a member of the HCQC Alumni Network, and Trey Skeppers, who's not yet there, but he's going to be there once he graduates as well. He is a student of Harrison College indeed, and so to both of you, I wish you well. Merry Christmas and all the best with the exciting concert coming up.
Merry Christmas to you
Merry
too.
Christmas as
You're
well
very
to you.
welcome. Thank you. We're right back in just a moment.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
Welcome to Nature's Discount, the ultimate health food store. At Nature's Discount, we have thousands of quality products at great prices.
Hi guys, Dottie here with Nature's Discount, and today we are talking about Solar Ray Microbiome Probiotics and why you should be taking them.
And we have well over 3,000 amazing products to help you get healthy.
For your health tips, tune in to CBC TV 8 every Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday for Nature's Discount, sponsored by Get Healthy Incorporated.
98.1 The One, your number one party station. With an audience from 18 to 40, we keep you engaged, energized, and entertained. Choose 98.1 FM, The One.
Hey there, it's Mahalia. I want to share something that might be really helpful. If you're feeling anxious, overwhelmed, depressed, or lonely and have no one to talk to, call Lifeline Barbados. We all face struggles at times in our lives. You're not alone. There's no need to feel ashamed or embarrassed. It's okay to reach out for support. Lifeline Barbados is completely confidential. No one else will know you called. They're there to offer a caring ear and guidance without judgment. And fellas, I want you to know asking for help is a true sign of strength. It takes real courage to reach out. You can also call Lifeline Barbados if you're worried about loved ones who are struggling and you need advice on how to support them. There's a saying, a problem shared is a problem halved, but not everyone has someone they can confide in. That's why Lifeline Barbados exists, to be there for you or someone you care about during tough times. Save this number. Lifeline Barbados is just a call away. Remember, you can reach out whenever you need to talk.
Books open your heart, your mind, and your soul. They are educational, entertaining, inspiring, and motivating. Are you an author of a recent book you want to share? Then Mornin Barbados will love to feature your book in our The Next Chapter segment. Send us an email to morninbarbados@cbc.bb. That's morning without the G. Come and let us turn those pages together.
Week after week, Scold presents exciting reports and documentaries on the most varied topics of our time. Spectacular developments and innovations, lifestyle and trends of tomorrow, mobility and tourism, health news, highlights from art and culture. Each contribution grabs the viewer with extraordinary images and stories and takes him into fascinating worlds which he experiences here exclusively and up close. We're there when companies and specialists develop super satellites for a global network in space and can look behind the scenes. Scold is a window to everything that is there or is yet to come. Fly with us through time to better understand today and tomorrow. You've always wanted that. Scold, a look into the future.
Our world today is not the world God wants it to be. One of the reasons, which will surprise many, is that our planet, its governments, and its peoples are all living under the weight of Satan's rule. From the beginning of mankind's existence to today, human history is the written...
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
What we just shared with you is a beautiful view of this beautiful island we call home, Barbados indeed. And from land or sky, it doesn't matter. Wherever we turn, there is something phenomenal about who we are. And we are so special that people all over the world view us and want to come to where we are, what we call home. One such person is with me now. But hey, his story is not just about traveling alone, it's about something else. And so we want to get to know that something else as well. He is Michael Walton. Michael, good morning to you.
Jason, very good morning to you as well, and good morning to all your viewers.
Welcome to Barbados.
Thank you so much.
Is this your first time to Barbados?
This is definitely my first time to Barbados. It's something I've been planning on doing for, well, I'm getting a bit older. I've been planning to do this trip basically my whole life. So yeah.
Really? Why?
So growing up in the north of England, as I did originally, it was very, very difficult to remember. So I've just turned 60, so my generation is pre-internet. The only way, and I'd make that because many of your viewers will have grown up with the internet, we didn't.
Yes.
So the only way that we could see exotic places was basically travel agent magazines. And I always remember as a very young boy, Mum had brought one home and it had a photograph of Barbados, and it was the picture of these pristine beaches and palm trees. And that image never left me, ever. So as a 10-year-old boy, I'm saying to myself, one day I'm going to go to Barbados. And of course, the Typically Tropical song came out at about the same time, and I was very impressionable. And here I am, 50 years later, fulfilling a bucket list wish.
Were you disappointed?
No.
Is it all that you saw and dreamt?
So much more.
And so much more.
So much more. This is genuinely nowhere else I'd rather be. It's fabulous, yeah.
And the thing is, folks, you know, you were born in the United Kingdom.
Yes.
And then eventually you found yourself in Australia.
Yeah, I moved
by
to
way of
Australia.
France.
Yeah, at 25. I started off as a chef, moved to France for a while. Basically, I wouldn't say I honed my cooking skills, but I certainly enjoyed cooking while I was there. And then came to Australia in 1991, and I've been there ever since. So, yeah. But the dream of coming here never left me, ever.
But the drive to change and the confidence to move into different locations and settle, for a lot of people, that's a bit scary. It means giving up to take on.
It's true, and it was a very weird thing. But so Mum and Dad had already emigrated to France. My father was a French teacher, so they had already moved away. I had a brother in the RAF, so he left. I had another brother who was a farmer, so he'd gone off pursuing his dream. My sister had moved to America, and whilst I still had family in the north of England, I just felt it was time for me to go and live my own life and explore. And I really never thought I would go to Australia. I had an Australian girlfriend, seemed like a good idea at the time, and never left. So there's nothing more to it than that.
You followed the love.
Yeah, it's exactly what it was. Yeah.
And so you found love, you've lived your life in Australia and all the rest of it. And how many flights to get to Barbados?
As it turns out, normally it's 3, but there was a change to schedule, so it took us 4 flights. We had to fly from Sydney to Brisbane, Brisbane to Dallas, Dallas to Miami, Miami to Barbados.
Oh, my worship.
And it took just a tiny bit, I think my son tells me, a tiny bit under 35 hours to get here.
Wow.
Worth every minute.
I fret for 4 hours. He's traveled for 35 hours, and it's worth every minute.
We live on the east coast of Australia. Yeah. Everywhere we go, we have to fly.
What do you do now?
We actually run a travel company. My wife runs a travel company. We take marathon runners around the world running. That's what we do. So, yeah.
And that's what you did. You came to Barbados to run the marathon.
As it turns out, that's exactly what we did. We travel around the world to run a marathon. Yeah.
So how did you, again, probably watching the travel bits and bits.
Yeah.
How did you learn about the Run Barbados series?
Well, that was very weird. So truth be told, I had a 60th birthday yesterday.
Oh, congratulations.
Thank you very much. Or commiserations, one or the other, depends on how you're looking at that. But so it was my birthday yesterday, and because it was a milestone birthday, and because we run marathons, my wife and I quite regularly, well, she does quite regularly. I pretend I don't run marathons, I qualify, I participate in marathons. Yes. She runs them, I just plod along at the back. So I was looking for a race that was on or around my birthday, and thought, well, you know, it's a milestone birthday, let's save up and just go do something interesting. And the Run Barbados Marathon happened to be on my 60th birthday, so I'm going, oh my Lord, this is literally a lifetime's ambition, and it's just meant to be, so let's just go. So,
and so
here we are.
The medal you wear is a participation medal, right?
Well,
you didn't wear anything, did you?
Here's a funny thing. I don't genuinely believe that anybody who finishes a marathon comes first, second, third or fourth. Everybody is a champion. Everybody wins by participating. So I don't look at these as winners' medals. They're participation medals because you participate and finish a marathon. I beat the 8.5 billion people who didn't turn up. So,
you're so right, because I didn't turn up.
There you go. So, yeah. So everybody who gets a marathon medal is a champion in my eyes, and I got one yesterday with the rest of the family, which was great.
Well done, well done
so
indeed.
much.
But there's a side to your life that one would not believe, because there was a moment in time your heart stopped.
So on the 22nd of February this year, I was participating in a half marathon. And I was only participating because my wife was doing a 55-kilometre race in training to go and run a marathon on Mount Everest. So I thought, what the heck, I'll go and do the race just to keep myself amused while she was doing her training. I got 10 kilometres into the race and had a heart attack. Very unexpectedly, with no warning signs, no symptoms, no family history. I'd actually had a full heart check 9 months earlier. It was completely clear. And I was very, very fortunate because the medical volunteer happened to be a trained cardiac specialist. He realised very, very quickly what was going on. I had no idea what was going on, of course. I just thought I wasn't feeling very well. So he laid me down. He walked away. Sorry, I'm laughing in my head, and I won't use any of the words I normally use to describe this. So he's walked away, and he's actually rung the helicopter base in Canberra. I'm actually in the Snowy Mountains in Australia, which is a fairly remote location. He's rung the helicopter base. He's rung his friends up, which is where he worked, and said, you need to start spinning up. You're about to get a 000 call. I've got a guy, gave him the locations. He's having a heart attack. And I've literally sat up from where I'm lying down and gone, good Lord, there's somebody else here having a heart attack. I wonder where he is. Never occurred to them.
Yes,
it was me. Even I could barely move. I didn't realise, but I was in real trouble. So I got helicoptered out off to the ambulance, off to the hospital. They did a couple of operations, sorted me out, and I'm absolutely fine. So one of the things I run marathons. It's my second one since I've done that, is to try and make people aware of the fact that you need to pay attention to your health. If you're not feeling well, just go get a checkup.
So what did you feel? You said you realized that you were not feeling quite well.
Yeah.
But what did you feel?
So here's the really weird thing, Pearson. I'm plodding along. And we're running, it's a very hilly race, and you're a little bit out of breath. And as I say, I'm a participant rather than a fast runner, so I'm plodding along. I got a toothache, right about there. And I remember thinking to myself, wow, that's a really weird time to get a toothache. I'm running a race. Apparently it's a very normal symptom of having a heart attack is getting a toothache on the left-hand side. Then I started to feel very tight in my shoulders, my arms were very tingly, and then I was getting a lot of pressure in my chest. And again, I just thought it was the stress of the race. It never occurred to me, but I have run lots and lots of races before, so I knew that what I was feeling wasn't normal. It wasn't part of just running a race. I wasn't the 50-odd-year-old guy thinking I have to run a race before I'm 60, because I've done lots of those before. Right. So I'm telling all of this to the medical guy. He's saying, have you had enough fluids? Have you been resting? And I'm saying that whatever this is, it's not normal. This is not how I normally feel, and I have done this before. So yeah, it was that tightness. It was starting to feel a bit vague. As I say, it was the toothache was the first warning sign. It was the tingling. But more than anything, it was just the feeling that something wasn't right. And I was so incredibly fortunate that I happened to have a heart attack right in front of the guy who knew what to do about it. So here I am telling the story.
But did you stop? Did you slow?
Yes. Yeah.
So he noticed that you're zigzagging across the path?
Yeah, it wasn't so much that. So at the 5 kilometre mark, I started to feel a bit ill. And I'm about halfway through the pack. There's maybe 200, 300 people in the race. And I'm plodding along, and I hadn't realised, there was people going past me, and I found this out afterwards. I hadn't realised I was basically going backwards through the pack. I was going so slowly that everybody was going past me. I just thought I was plodding along as normal. Yeah. And I think it's a little bit of fuzziness, I think. I went for another 5 kilometres, got to this gentleman who was a medical volunteer, and I actually stopped and said, look, I don't feel very well. I don't know what it is. Would you mind if I just sat down for a little bit? And he's going, no, that's sure. I sat on a rock wall next to him, and we had a bit of a chat, and that was great. Because I'd stopped, my heart rate started to slow down a bit. I started to feel okay. And I thought, well, I've got another 10 kilometres to go. I'll just walk. I've got plenty of time, there's no issue. And I said to him, look, here's my bib number. I'm just going to walk this off. I'll be absolutely fine, no problem whatsoever. I got maybe 150 metres from where he was, just enough I was round a corner where I couldn't see him, and I had to stop and sit down. And I literally couldn't go on any further. So I guess because I've done this before and I was just aware of how I was supposed to feel, I was aware enough of the fact that this wasn't normal. I walked back to the volunteer and said, look, I don't know what this is. And remember, we're in the middle of nowhere here.
Exactly.
There's 10 kilometres from that exit. I'm 10 kilometres from that exit. There's no egress point. I didn't think. I said, I don't know how I'm going to get out of here. You're going to have to send a team of guys in, like big, strong blokes, and carry me out, because I can't walk. Yes. Again, because this guy was so wonderful, because of what he did for a living, where he had stopped, further down, there was a clearing that he had spotted. He knew that in an emergency he could get a helicopter in. They couldn't land, but they could winch. Yes. So that's what they did. They brought the helicopter up and winched me out, took me to hospital. So very fortunate.
So there you are at the hospital. Yeah. I'm just walking your story for just a moment. At the hospital, and reality is setting in now. I am having a heart attack.
Yeah.
And they're confirming that that's exactly what's going on.
Yeah.
Your concerned relatives had swooped in, no doubt, by then.
Well,
or were you just
I wouldn't say swooped. So Marima, my beautiful wife, she was actually still doing the race. And bizarrely, she was actually doing the race. I'd rung her to say, oh, by the way, sweetheart, I'm having a heart attack.
Wow.
Yeah, they're sending a helicopter. She's doing the race. And remember, she's also in the middle of the bush, no egress point. She has to finish.
Yes.
So she can hear the helicopter picking me up. So she knew I was on my way to hospital. But she's quite a few hours away from the hospital. They took me to Canberra. It's a long drive. It's the middle of the night. So she actually stayed where we were staying overnight and then drove on the Sunday. It was a Saturday race. So she drove, saw me on the Sunday, yeah.
So once all the tests are done, the bits and pieces are on your chest, and everybody's monitoring like crazy, the conversations, because I'm trying to figure out the conversations that happened. Because I can well imagine, if you were my brother, never again. Those kinds of conversations were they had.
And I get that. I think the funny thing is, because we run marathons all the time, the whole family runs. My daughter's just done her 3rd marathon. My son's, he plays a lot of football or soccer, whichever it's called here. He plays a lot of soccer. So he's quite fit as well. So we're quite a sporty, they're a sporty family. I look like this, but you know, everybody else is quite sporty. So it's being active isn't something that's new for us, and it wasn't ever a case of, oh my goodness, you've had a heart attack, you have to stop. It was more a case of, if you stop, what's going to happen to you? You're going to deteriorate. You've got to keep moving forwards. It wasn't a wake-up call in terms of my own health, certainly a little lifestyle. I've had a few tweaks here and there, things that I can and can't do. I've chosen not to eat butter. I don't eat bacon anymore. I don't eat bacon.
Forgive him, Father.
I know.
Tell you what, Michael, you pause for just a moment. We'll take a break. When we come back, I want to know a little bit more about your life after the event and everything. Because there are lessons for us, I think, to learn about how we manage health given this kind of life-changing event that you've had.
Excellent.
We'll take a break. We're back in just a moment.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
Our world today is not the world God wants it to be. One of the reasons which will surprise many is that our planet, its governments, and its peoples are all living under the weight of Satan's rule. From the beginning of mankind's existence to today, human history is the written record of what it means to live under the rule of the devil. Yet that rule is coming to an end, and what a difference that will make.
Every Sunday at 9 a.m. on CBC TV 8, tune in for Tomorrow's World, sponsored by the Living Church of God.
Some ask, what makes Barbados so special? We at Mornin Barbados say it's you, our exceptional youth. You are talented, resilient, and inspirational. You are the epitome of the Barbadian spirit, testing the boundaries of your creativity. If you are an entrepreneur, artist, baker, designer, author, or have done anything you think should be highlighted, email us at morninbarbados@cbc.bb. Let us show the world our exceptional Bajan youth.
From the beautiful shores of the gem of the Caribbean, Barbados, home of the amazing Harrison's Cave, the tantalizing Oystins Bay Garden, our historic garrison, the indigenous road tennis, and the friendliest people in the world. We are 94.7 FM, the ultimate Bajan experience.
There is a saying, you can find a Bajan anywhere. Are you a Bajan living abroad? Or do you know of one who has migrated to another country? Well, we at Mornin Barbados would love to have you or them on our Bajan Afar segment. Share your amazing stories, experience.
Good morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
12 to the hour, I was sitting with Michael Walton, who is a miracle, a living miracle, because up high in the middle of literally nowhere, with nowhere to turn other than having a helicopter brought to him, he survived a heart attack. And so he's lived now to tell the story. And the last we were talking with him, he was in the hospital with everybody and all the other voices around him telling him different messages. And so, Michael, your family supported you. They said, don't stop, keep going.
That's right.
But you yourself had to talk to yourself, had an own conversation for just a moment.
Very much.
What were you saying to Michael that helped Michael carry on?
So the inner voice, Michael, was basically saying, okay, you've had a heart attack. What's brought this on? Now, there's lots of lifestyle things that you can think of. Do I drink too much? Yes, probably. Am I fit and healthy? Well, reasonably, so it might not be that. What are the other things that I'm doing? The big one, I guess, is diet. as I say, I was weird because I had a heart attack with no symptoms. There was no reason for me to have had it, and I won't go into the boring details of what they've told me, but basically I was just unlucky. I had a heart attack nonetheless, but I was unlucky. So I had to say to myself, well, okay, what are the things that I can do without substantially stopping being me to make changes? So I've cut down on the amount of fat. This is, again, internal Michael saying you need to change your diet. I've cut down on the amount of fat, so I have cholesterol-lowering margarine instead of butter. Butter's a big no-no. I love eating butter. Love eating butter. Bacon and egg rolls, everybody's favourite breakfast in Australia. I've stopped eating bacon. Shoot me now. So, things like that. So I've stopped eating processed meat, mainly for the fat content. It's delicious, and if that's your thing, go for it, I say. I've stopped eating sausages, again for the fat content, but only because those particular types of fats don't work for me. If they work for you, by all means, you do you, absolutely. So it's just those little tweaks that I've found that I've lost a little bit of weight by doing that. I feel healthier. The one thing that the internal Michael told the external Michael is do not let this freak you out. Because if having a health issue freaks you out, you're going to sit in your chair and do nothing, and that's actually going to exacerbate the problem.
Yes.
You've got to get out and live your life. If you led a relatively active life previously, keep living one. You might need to make modifications. I found that my running, slow as it was before, is even slower, if that's possible.
Yes.
But it doesn't stop me running. It doesn't stop me exercising. I still go swimming with my friends. We still catch up and have coffees and things like that. It's very easy to become very introspective and start panicking. I refuse to let myself do that.
And I want you to explain to some, because there's some of the view who would say your point of view of how life is now is denial of a reality.
Yes.
And how do you respond to that?
I would say it's not a denial of reality whatsoever. I'm well aware of the fact that I had a heart attack. I'm not hiding from the fact that in my life, at my age, that could have been a life-defining event. I have taken the view that it has defined my life by telling me to go out and live it. So that was the defining thing with my life. It wasn't saying, woe is me, I've had a heart attack.
Yes.
And it's very easy to take that attitude, and I totally understand why people do. But again, the internal me said, this is your opportunity. Take the opportunity to go out and do stuff, because you never know when this stuff's coming. You just don't. I didn't. It was a surprise to me. So,
how has this event changed your life, the lifestyle of your family? Because now they know.
Yeah.
Everyone says, hold on. The possibility is that we could too.
That's right.
Have they taken any action where that's concerned?
It hasn't been necessary, certainly for the kids, because they're very young. But my wife and I have become much more aware of possible symptoms. But I'm now also trying to spread the message to my, wider family and friends. If you're not feeling well, don't just sit there and be all stoic and brave. Go and talk to a specialist. Go and see your doctor. Go and get an opinion as to why you're not feeling well. There's a reason that your body is telling you you're not well. Just go do something about it, and it might well save your life.
So, that was that event then?
Yes.
You're facing the Marathon Run Barbados now?
Yes.
And so, there's a checklist of saying, don't this, do that, must have those kinds of things.
Yeah.
Did you do that one? And how did you prepare mentally and emotionally to face this marathon?
It's a very interesting one, that, Pearson. This is not my first marathon. I think this is number 14 for me. My wife has done, I actually don't know, it would be 50 plus, plus lots of ultras. So running is I won't say it's in our DNA, but it's certainly what we do as a family. But there are certain things that we always think of. So, for example, you've got to make sure, it's actually 2 nights before the race, not the night before, you get plenty of sleep. Because it's a marathon. You're always nervous the night before a marathon, and everybody struggles with sleep. Well, I certainly do anyway. So 2 nights before, you make sure that you get plenty of sleep. You make sure that you, if you are a drinker, massively cut down on the amount of alcohol that you're consuming. Certainly don't go out and get completely hammered the night before, because that isn't going to end well. But also try not to do that couple of nights. So you cut down on the amount of alcohol, increase your carb load a little bit. You're going to be using a lot of energy out on the race. Irrespective of your skill level, you're going to be using a lot. So, eat pastas, eat rice, eat healthy-ish foods. Try and get some vegetables into your system if you can, and make sure that you're hydrated. That's a massive one, especially here because it's a hot country.
Yes.
It's relatively humid. You are going to sweat. You're going to lose liquid. So make sure you've got plenty in your system to start with. Yeah. So it's just being prepared, I think.
And that was what you did?
That's exactly what we did.
And nothing in there said anything about heart attack?
No.
Precisely.
Nothing at all.
So
no, I was preparing for a marathon. The heart attack was something that I had, and I said to myself, okay, part of my life is running marathons. Just get on with it.
Just get on with it.
Yeah, just get
And
on
that's the message, I think, for a lot of our seniors. Barbados is known to have quite a large number of seniors on island. And so oftentimes we grow older and we do less.
Yes.
And you're saying as you grow older, Michael, you're doing more.
I don't know if I'm doing more, but I'm certainly not doing less. I think what I'm doing is I'm doing as much as I am capable of doing. Yeah, so I'm certainly not as fast as I used to be. I was never fast to start with.
Watch the screen with us. Is this a video of Michael?
Oh dear.
Let's see. Do you recognize yourself at all? I mean, it's a bit tiny.
I'm the one in the multicoloured tutu, as it turns out.
Typical Australian humour.
Yeah. And that's my beautiful daughter running over to join us. It's my son in the red, and my sister and my wife in the other tutus. So,
wow.
Yeah,
and there you were. You made it to the finish line.
We did.
You did it alive and well.
Yeah, and the time was irrelevant. Didn't matter. I still got my medal.
You still have your medal. And so life might toss us from, I'm just to the audience right now, life might toss us sometimes some lemons. And what do? We ask ourselves. Michael says make lemonade.
That's right.
Life at times might toss us some curveballs. What do? You dodge. If you have to dodge, but you watch the ball and you play it according to what was dealt to you indeed. Life deals us hands. That's just life, how it plays. And so we must be able and prepared to play the hand dealt. And Michael understands that, his family understands that, they don't give up. That resilience rests in all of us. Each of us has that same level of resilience. And so it's to be able to be confident enough, have the partnership with those you love dearly, who will help you move forward and continue to be resilient in whatever you face. And Michael, you're that living example.
Oh, thank you.
And so the story, I'm sure, was told in the Australian press. You tell it everywhere you go. Traveling is still the thing you love to do.
Absolutely.
And so what's your plan for next? What's your next plan?
So, as we say, I've run lots of marathons. I will be going off to Boston to run another marathon in April.
Different one now.
Yeah. And then I'm off to China with a group of equally interested, like-minded runners in May. So it never stops for us. We run. It's what we do. Yeah. Why stop? It's what we love.
Running is what we do.
Yeah.
That's a nice slogan. Running is what we do.
There you go.
Running is what they do.
Yeah, our company slogan for 25 years has always been "Run the World." It's what we do. We run the world. It's the best way to see it. Nice. Yeah, if you want to go and visit a country, go find a race. The race is just the hook that gets you somewhere else. Yeah. That's all it is.
That's brilliant indeed. And so, no doubt, the family's here with you.
Yes.
They're probably home watching or wherever they are staying. Or they're
either watching or they're sound asleep, one or the other.
Either which way they're going to do this. Yeah. And when do you leave Barbados?
Yes.
When do you leave?
We leave in another 2 weeks, so we've made this.
Oh, you have time.
We've made this a real holiday. Yeah.
You have time.
Yeah.
So would you be here over the Christmas holidays then?
No, we actually we need to be back home on the 20th of December.
Okay.
Yeah.
What is the Old Year's Night, New Year's Day celebrations like for you in Australia?
So it's strange. We live just north of Sydney, so Sydney has the most amazing harbour, most amazing fireworks, which I enjoy with friends on my television. Not because I don't like to go, I've seen them lots of times, but we have some very, very close friends, Anne and Doug, hi if you're listening, or you're watching, that we get together with every year. We've done that for probably 20 years at one of our houses, and there's a couple of other families join us, and we just stay at home and party hard.
Why not?
Yeah, 4 o'clock
watch
in the
the
morning.
fireworks for your television.
Yeah, 4 o'clock in the morning, we're in the pool, being stupid. No reason to slow down.
Again, live your life.
That's right.
Michael is 60 years old. Michael is just 1 year older than me. And so, I need to be mindful of this. And so I think a lot of you watching today, you will see life does not end simply because you age. Life gives you so much more that you can enjoy indeed. And so it's your view, your point of view, your view and the global view, because you must associate yourself with like-minded people.
Very much so. Yeah. We spend a lot of time with people who run, and the groups of runners that we meet, and I have friends that I've made that will be friends for life doing this, is fantastic. But Everybody's positive. Everybody wants to go out and have an experience, and the age actually becomes irrelevant. You just want to get out and do stuff. Doesn't matter what your stuff is. You know, if your big thing is aqua aerobics, go do it twice a week instead of once.
That's a lovely exclamation point on which to end. Michael, thank you so much for joining us.
Absolute pleasure. Thank
Michael Walton, he is UK born, went through France, lives now with his family in Australia, came to Barbados to run the Run Barbados Marathon. He won the Barbados Marathon indeed, but he's won on life simply because he's had a heart attack that could have changed his point of view of life, but he did not allow that to stop him from living and running the world indeed. And so we thank him for being with us this morning. Thank you so much.
Absolute pleasure. Thank you.
Story of inspiration. And that's it for today, everybody. We want to wish you with my little crew a brilliant today. Be it the will of the Lord. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.
Wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up. Barbados, get up. Good morning.